Joining me now, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist and MS Now political analyst Eugene Robinson. Former Senator Jon Tester is back with us. Eugene, in a statement, a spokesperson for the Interior Department told the Washington Post, quote, "The Trump administration has been committed to celebrating and acknowledging the full breadth of our nation's history." Any thoughts on that as it relates to this statue?
Well, number one, that statement is false, since the Trump administration has declared also that it is determined to sanitize American history, to suppress the parts of American history that it believes makes people uncomfortable, which is a tremendous disservice to the country, really. The United States has a long and glorious history, and part of the glory of that history is the story of how ultimately slavery was abolished, how gradually, job is not complete, but gradually the promises of the Declaration of Independence, that all men are created equal, endowed by their creator with unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the story of how that has gradually and painfully been expanded to include more and more Americans. And that's a wonderful story. Arguably unique in the world, but it is not. But for some reason, the Trump administration seems to be ashamed of that.
I wonder what you make of the fact, not just that they're taking a statue of a slave owner out of mothballs,
right,
but they're putting it in a park that's meant to honor the life and legacy of Martin Luther King Jr.?
Yeah, that's in your face. That's a statement. The fact that they're doing this with that statue. This is a statue of a relatively frankly obscure figure who played a role in the American independence in 1776, but not a leading role. There is look, it would be impossible to get rid of every monument to every slave owner who played a role in American history. Obviously, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, these people who were fundamental to the founding of the nation, were also slave owners. I believe there should be context about that. That should be explained to sort of balance the scales. But this figure, Mr. Rodney, again, he's not central to the story, and putting it in a park named after Dr. King is kind of a middle finger to a lot of Americans, to African Americans, but not just to African Americans. I think to all Americans who really understand and appreciate the history of our country.
To anybody who thinks all of us are created equal, but Senator, the New York Times reports that late last month, a White House event that was billed as an arts and culture summit for America's 250th anniversary had a prominent election denier on its history panel. If history is written by the victors, where does that leave us?
Well, it doesn't make America great again. Let me put it to you that way. I mean, the bottom line is that this is a great country that's got a great history. We've made some mistakes. You don't want to rewrite history, and you don't want to, put out things that, quite frankly, is going to further divide this country, which is what I think that statute does. And so, moving forward, let's just be honest with ourselves. We've been great, but we haven't been perfect. Let's learn from our mistakes, and let's not glorify people who don't need to be glorified, and move the ball forward. And then and only then can we look forward to another 250 years of being a great country.
Let me also ask you, Senator, because I think in your role in the U.S. Senate, ethics were something that was tried to be upheld. There are public documents now that show the Trump Organization recently sought trademarks that are linked to the U.S. 250th anniversary. And It includes a Trump 250 image that's going to be used on bumper stickers, tote bags, drinkware, various clothing items, golf balls. Is that honoring America, or is it a cash grab?
This is about Trump's personal wealth. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Not unlike the crypto scheme that was going from the White House. Look, I remember very, very well this country's bicentennial when Carter was the president in 1976. This kind of stuff didn't happen because we wouldn't allow it to happen. And people shouldn't allow it to happen now. The 250th anniversary of this country's independence should not be about political gain or the president's wealth. It should be about celebrating this country and moving forward into the future. This is just crazy. I mean, to put trademarks on this stuff, the only thing it's going to do is going to make the president richer. And that's not why you should be in the presidency, by the way. It should be serving the people, serving the country. And obviously, that's not the case with this president.